This is gonna show up like on Shorts? Hmm.
So whoever's in shorts will be able to see it.
Alright. Let's see here. I'm on my tablet over here, so it should let me know. Let me
It's
see.
saying starting. It's saying starting in 17 seconds.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at it on my iPad. That way, while we on here, we can use the iPad to see the messages.
Right. You're MrNoble, right? On YouTube?
Yeah, MrNoble TV.
There you are.
I want to try something right quick. See if I can use the same. It'll let me do that. 'Cause I know the other day it was acting stupid.
I can see you fine. And I got you on the iPad too. Like I can see everything clearly. It's just really, really lacking. Yeah, hardcore. Yeah, I think it froze on there it goes. I just think that there's a lot of lacking. I'm looking at myself on the tablet. I'm looking at myself over here, and
For people that don't have a good internet connection.
right.
But that also gives us time to say what we got to say.
We got a message from Tech for your needs. What's going on,
Oh,
man?
what's up, man?
Glad you could
Where
join
we?
us on this live.
Oh yeah, this our first time.
Yes, sir. Did you see that new ChatGPT Sona?
Yeah, but I don't think it's ready for a live yet.
Oh no, the ChatGPT, the one that you can text. You basically put in your what you want, and then it creates a video. That thing's
Okay.
yeah. I was listening to the Genius Bar podcast with John Prosser. Yes, so I was listening to that podcast, and John Prosser, he said, we might just be done with all the drones and stuff, because now you can just say, hey, I want an overview shot of New York City uh, at midnight or whatever, and it's gonna create it for you, so you don't really need to be flying drones and all that. So that thing's gonna be crazy, but I think it's good. I think it's great, but there has to be some government regulations to it, because I mean,
Right.
we can create videos, and we can say, hey, you know what? Create a video of Mr. Noble TV stealing some iPhones, and it's gonna look pretty damn real. So they got to put a whole bunch of regulations on that.
Right. Yeah, I've been using the Gemini one, because Gemini you can
Oh
create
yeah, for Google,
you can create photos and that, but also Canva has that also. So I have the
I got Canva Pro. I've been using
I
that.
do too. I
Yeah,
have that too. That's what I use to edit everything.
Yeah, see, tech for your needs. He knows what he knows. So we got to get some regulations on that AI. We gotta. No, I agree. Um, I work in the automotive industry. Um, so I've been seeing a lot of new robots come in, and you know, there's a bunch of new robots when you go into a manufacturing a manufacturing facility, there's a bunch of robots, but at the end, you still need a human to program that robot and to fix it when it has issues, to update it, to give it maintenance. So I think when it comes down to it, we're still gonna have jobs. It's just gonna be
Right,
a different kind of labor. We're gonna have to be more educated, and we're gonna have to fix the robots rather than just I don't know put grocerying up bags or bagging groceries and stuff like that.
right.
But yeah, I mean AI is crazy. I'm up for it. Um, I think you have the what you have. You got a folding phone, right? At the Fold 5. So are you a fan of you really enjoy your fold phone? See, thank you so much, Tech, for your needs. I appreciate you subbing, man. Um, a little bit, yeah. On my screen, you're lagging a little bit. Tech for your needs. Am I lagging? Am I good?
What about now?
No, you're good. You're good now.
Yeah, I just tried turn on the Wi-Fi and turn it back on.
Okay. Um, yeah. So I had a long time ago. But I think I was still in 2006, 2005. I had a Motorola Flip. That was like the good time.
The Motorola Droid.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
see, I enjoy those kind of phones. I can't see myself with the flip phone, and I always carry 2 phones. I have my personal phone, I have my work phone. I always carry 2 phones, and I hate carrying 2 phones because 'cause they're just super thick in my pocket, and I feel like that's how I'm gonna feel when I have a flip phone
Right.
or what more
A folding
a
phone.
folding phone, right? Because a flip
Right.
phone is probably gonna be, a good
Yeah.
size.
I would never do a folding phone, flip phone like that from
Mhm.
like back in the days, just like they have now, the clamshell.
Yeah.
It Dude, it don't make any sense because when you just think about when you open it, me and my daughter was actually just talking about this yesterday. When you open it, you still have the same form factor as a regular slab phone. You know what I'm saying?
You do, but I mean, my
But
niece has
then when
got
you
that.
but then when you fold it, you got that little square in your hand. You have people that are clumsy that have slippery hands or that can't hold things. They're gonna have a tendency to drop that thing a lot because it's so small. You know what I'm saying?
I agree there, but there are some positive vibes. I mean,
I mean, yeah,
you
there is. If someone was to give it to me, yeah, I would use it. Yeah, I would use it on a daily basis or probably every couple of days. But
Yeah.
just to go buy one, I wouldn't buy one.
I see. I feel the same way about both flip phones and folding phones.
Right.
Cause I'm not. I barely use tablets. I'm not a tablet person at all. My wife, she got a tablet. My son got a tablet. I have a tablet, but I use my tablet to read. Like that's basically the only time I use my tablet. I read books on there. Or if I'm gonna watch,
Right.
something while I'm washing the dishes or something like that. But I don't see myself using a tablet, and I don't see myself using a fold or a flip phone. Now there's talks that, Apple's talking they're still in the process of making a flip phone, and I think it's gonna flop harder than the Vision Pro. I mean, we've seen the Vision Pro and everybody's returning it because they don't find a use for it. They don't find a use case for it.
Well, I found out also actually yesterday from a leaker that I follow, and we're supposed to be getting uh, clamshell iPhones, and we're
Mhm.
supposed to be getting a foldable iPhone
See, and
by 2026. But you never know. I mean, because the Apple comes out with patents all the time, but it never comes to the surface. You know what I'm saying? But the same people that worked on a Vision Pro is the same people that's working on the new iPhone flips and fold phones.
That's it. Tech for Uni, he just commented on that. He said, today's flip phones have uh, too much to compromise to have as a main device. But is that your main device? You use your fold as your main device?
No, I use the iPhone because the iPhone I use for more calling and texting, which I hardly ever use it for phone calls, but for texting and checking social media and stuff like that, I
Hmm.
use it for that. Now, like one of the videos I just put out a couple of weeks ago, uh, why I use the iPhone and why I use the fold phone. That tells you everything that you need to know in that video on how I use it. So the only time, like you were saying, you use the iPad to like read, or I use it the same way to read or to. Now sometimes I read articles on my phone too,
Right.
but I use it more for like watching YouTube because I don't like watching YouTube on my phone. You'll never see me watching a YouTube video on my phone because before I got the phone, I was watching it on my iPad all the time. Now, sometimes I still watch it on the iPad, but I have a tendency to watch it more now because I could take that phone with me when I leave the house. Now, if I'm at home, I use my iPad more than I use the phone to watch videos.
So, like, for me, the one thing that is big to me, resolution is part of it, right? But
Right,
I usually only watch videos or do stuff like that while I'm in bed, like late at night. And the fact that an iPad, or let alone the um, iPhone Pro Max, that thing is way too heavy for me. So I had to compromise. My wife has got the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and that thing is heavy. And I was gonna get it, but I was like, you know what? I don't see myself needing it. I don't need it. Would I like to have it? Yeah, sure. It's got 14 megapixel camera and all that. Will I use it? All my all my media that gets uploaded to social media, X, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, it gets compressed anyway. So
right,
even if I do take one of those great ass pictures, at the end of the day, it's gonna get compressed, and you're not gonna see the same thing I'm seeing on my phone because my
right,
resolution is gonna be
exactly.
different than yours, and that's the tendency I have with my YouTube videos right now. Like I edit on that monitor back there.
Right.
I have my Mac Mini M2 Pro back there. I edit it and I do film. I do color grading and everything. But the way I see it when I'm editing, I don't see it the same on my phone. I don't see it the same on my work computer. I don't see it
I'm
the
a
same on my tablet. You know what I
and I'm
mean?
gonna tell and I'm gonna tell you why that is. Because I had the same problem. I can do something in ProRes. I could do something in ProRAW. I tested all these. And I also tried 4K, 24, 30, and 60 to see which one would come out better. I found that, because I use my iPhone 14 Pro Max, because I have the
Mm.
iPhone 14 Pro Max. I use that either the iPhone 14 Pro Max or the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But it seems like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the cameras, I don't know why, but the sensors in the camera on the 13 is better than the ones in the 14 when it comes to recording. Now, taking photos, the 14 takes better photos than the 13 does. So I have a
I,
tendency to use the 13 instead of the 14.
that just I think that's a whole megapixel thing because there's a lot of filmmakers and everything that use 24,
Yeah, I
30
use the
megapixels, you know what I'm
24.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And then I record on my YouTube videos, I record everything on 1080p at 30 frames per second.
right,
Why? Because I feel like I'm not at that level yet to go
right,
all out in 4K. If I'm gonna go all out in 4K, I'm gonna buy a better camera. I'm gonna have a better visual for my audience. I have, I think I have pretty good audio. I have, a couple microphones and stuff. I have pretty good audio. I have a camera that's dedicated. I have the Canon M50, which I use to do my videos. But when it comes to actually r- checking that video back, I have a tendency to be like, you know what? I recorded it and I edited it, and I thought it was gonna come out different, and it did, but I like the way it looks on my iPhone, and then I don't like the way it looks on my M2 MacBook Air.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And then it looks great on the TV, but then
right,
on another computer it looks shitty, and I'm just like, man, how do I get it so I can have what I'm seeing go out to all my audience?
right.
And I think that's something that a lot of us struggle. I think the only person that doesn't struggle with this is like Marquez and all of them because they got the red cameras and they got all that
Yeah,
professional stuff. They got the big boy
right,
toys. You know what I mean?
right.
But for us that we're starting out, um, a lot of people
Yeah,
use their phones to record
right.
videos.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, about a year ago, my camera on my iPhone, when I uploaded a video to YouTube, it looked a lot more crisp than it does now. And I'm
Mm,
using the exact same phones. But I noticed that instead of me using the regular camera on the phone, I started using a black magic camera.
mm,
And that one seems to come out the right light and I didn't change none of the settings. I just left it the default because I
mm,
tried tweaking the settings. I also watched a few other YouTube creators and
right.
watched their channel and tweak some of the settings, but it still didn't come out the way that they were saying. So
Mm,
I just left it a deep, and I find that my videos are a lot clearer now using a Blackmagic camera than using a regular iPhone camera that comes on the phone. But I mean, I think something is going on with the software, the iOS software. I think
yeah.
something is really having an issue, messing with the sensors and stuff.
It's all that compressing, all that
Right.
compressing of the video and stuff.
And I mean, to me, I think there's too many camera settings in the iPhone just for three cameras. We don't need all of that extra stuff in there.
So have you
Yeah,
speaking about, a camera, iPhone Pro Max and iPhone, the regular lineup, they have two cameras and they got three cameras, right?
Right,
You got your main camera, you got your ultra wide, and then you got your telephoto as far as the Pro Max
right.
and the Pro goes. Have you seen the leaks for the new iPhone SE?
Yeah, I seen it.
So it's got one camera sensor, right?
And,
It's got one camera.
and guess which one it's gonna use?
There's rumors that it's gonna have the 48 megapixel, but I don't think it's
It
gonna go
is.
up. But I don't think it's gonna go way up there because that's a pretty expensive sensor to be putting in,
Right.
a $400
A budget
starting phone,
phone. Right.
right? So maybe they're gonna keep the 12 megapixel camera, but I really would like to see a phone with one camera that can have great resolution and great performance.
And can do all three of them at the same time.
Definitely will, but I don't think they're gonna put that on a budget phone.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're probably testing some stuff out, but that will probably come out later. And then I tweeted earlier today, um, Magic Boom. I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name correctly. He's a leaker
Yeah, I know
on
you're talking
X.
about with the purple and black
Yeah, yeah,
emo
yeah,
a cartoon character like
yeah.
emoji. Yeah, I
So
know you're talking about.
he put out that he's got the iPhone 16 lineup is gonna have way smaller bezels, and he put out 3 screen protectors.
I know I seen your post, I mean your reply to it.
Yeah, so
And he was like, "So what is the last one gonna be?"
right, because it doesn't have the dynamic island cut out.
So what I'm thinking is he's seen something that makes me think that we might have a ultra phone coming.
Hey, Abby.
Hey, Abby, how you
Yeah,
doing today, tonight?
that ultra phone. Uh-huh.
I think we about to get an ultra phone,
So
and
you think the
the
sensors are gonna be under the screen?
either it's gonna be under the screen, but it'll probably be like the way the Samsung Fold is, because you don't technically on the Fold you don't see the camera at all until you're ready to use it. When you go to click the camera on the Fold phone, that little circle pops up on the screen.
Uh,
But then when you're not using it, it disappears.
so iPhone or Apple has been known to have one of the best front-facing camera
Right,
of any phone, right?
right,
Especially after the iPhone 10 came out, which had the 3D scanner and all that. So, do you
right.
think that if we get the Ultra, that front-facing camera, because it is behind a screen, it's gonna have a lower resolution? And you think that's why Apple is not pushing forward and it's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna take my time because when I put something out, it's gonna be great."
Right. I think the way I'm feeling about that is they're gonna they're still gonna use the dynamic island. I think they're still gonna, because you know the dynamic island actually is nothing but software, because you could
Yeah.
actually do that on a Samsung phone. So I actually think that, yeah, it'll be behind the screen, but then when you go to use it, that dynamic island is gonna pop up with that camera in it, if that makes any sense. Because like I said, the dynamic island is just software anyway.
I I mean,
But
I
they could do it in a different way, because you know Apple is known to do some tricky stuff, like literally everybody copies Apple after they come out with it.
you know what? I was just thinking the other day, we haven't gotten a charge brick on the iPhone since I think it was like the iPhone 12. iPhone 12 came out. We haven't gotten a charge brick,
Right,
right? So I
right,
was thinking, I was like, you know what? The prices keep going up for everything. I'm in the manufacturing business, so I know that our our raw material, it keeps going up, so we have to sell it for, more expensive, and we try to cut production in the production line and stuff like that. I went into my boxes for my iPhone 11, my wife's iPhone 14 Pro Max, my iPhone 14, my earbuds, and guess what? I have never touched those cables.
Are you serious?
Those cables are still in those boxes. The USB to Lightning cable,
Boy, those are
there's
gonna be worth some money one day.
those are still right in those boxes. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Apple was on something when they eliminated the charging brick,
Right,
right? I have the dual 30-watt charging brick, you know what I
right.
mean? And I use that all the time. Charge my AirPods, charge my Apple Watch, my tablet, my kid's tablet. It works perfectly. But I'm looking at my boxes. Hold on. I'll show you. Let me go get those boxes real quick.
And actually, I have one I bought on Temu that actually works. I think it's a 65 watt. Hold on, let me see.
Look, I'm not even lying. This is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Look,
Right,
literally, it's still right there. It's not even
right.
touched.
That's crazy.
And then this is the AirPods Pros 2 that I'm using right now, and literally, it's right there. Look, it has not been touched.
That's crazy.
So I was thinking, I was like, you know what? If Apple got away with not um putting a charging brick, I was like, I want to make a video about this,
Right,
but I don't want people to hate me because they're like, oh, this guy put out that video and then Apple got it. Well, I'm pretty sure Apple's not gonna see my video, but
right.
that could be something that Apple goes down the line and goes, hey, guess what? We're not gonna give you guys any more cables. So and then I have the iPhone X, the iPhone 10 box, and guess what's still in there, untouched?
The stickers.
The headphones.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause I still got the XR too, the red
So
one.
right, so like I mean, Apple does things for a reason. They have their statistics. They have their whole background. They have their whole research as to why they do something, right? So
Right.
charging brick went out because why? Because people sell them. Like other manufacturers sell them. Apple sells them. So they're like, you know
Right.
what? We gotta cut costs because at that time it was the pandemic and everything was skyrocketing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So Apple's like, you know what? I'm not gonna put the charging brick because you probably already have one. Matter of fact,
Right.
I bet you a lot of people still had it in their box like I have my cables.
But you know what's funny is OnePlus still puts the charger in the box.
Who buys OnePlus?
I have two of them.
I
I
see.
actually,
I see
I
the.
wanted to try it. I
I
wanted
see,
to try it.
is it good?
Yeah, I still. Well, I haven't bought one. I haven't bought any newer ones since the 7 Pro, the
See,
OnePlus 7 Pro, and
I seen the Twitter today, and it said OnePlus 12, and
right.
then it said OnePlus 12 equals 13 people who bought this phone.
Wow.
I was like, "Oh," and I seen their stocks, and I seen how the company as a whole is doing, and it's stumbling.
They actually put cases, and some of them put cases, still put cases in the phone
In the
box.
but I mean, that's because nobody buys them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they have
Right.
to give you they gotta give the consumer something else in
Right.
order to grab their attention and to get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? That like
I mean,
that's just marketing.
but I ain't gonna lie. Them OnePlus phones, they are powerful.
Oh
Them
yeah?
things, those are literally gaming devices. You can use those to game. They come with so much storage for so cheap. But like you said, because nobody's buying them. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? But,
get mobile gaming. Let's go on that topic. Mobile gaming.
but
I mean, who I do mobile gaming on my iPhone a little bit.
I do
Very,
too a little
very,
bit.
very little bit, you know what I mean? My son's got a Switch, but he plays more on his tablet than he does on the Switch.
And mine is the opposite. He plays more on a Switch than he does on a tablet.
See? But who plays mobile gaming on a cell phone like for long periods of time?
Mm,
That
Not
that is
not unless it's like one of the Raw match or the what is those matching games? Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
Sugar, what that thing is? Everybody
Sugar
was playing
Crush or
for.
something, Crush or
Yeah, something
something.
like that. I used to play
Yeah.
a long time ago. I don't play it no more.
So other mobile gaming is not really there.
Right.
Apple put out the iPhone 15 Pro with the new Pro chip and everything. You can play AAA games on there. But I've not seen videos where they're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be playing a bunch of video games on my iPhone 15 Pro."
Yeah. Except for the ones that's been formatted just for the 15 Pro,
But I
like
mean,
the newer computer, the
y-
computer game ones.
but you play for it for a little bit, and then you're like, you know what? I mean, I would be like, you know what? I'd rather play it on my
You know, on a
computer.
bigger screen, on a bigger
Right,
screen. Yeah.
right,
Right.
right. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it's
That's
like,
why I do my. That's why I do mine on my iPad. Cause I play Call of Duty and stuff
hmm
right on my iPad, and I use my what's my game? And I use my Stadia control instead of my Xbox controller.
oh, you got a
Man,
vintage and
dude, this thing plays works so good with all the Apple devices. You would not believe. I even use this when I do YouTube. When I make YouTube videos, when I record YouTube videos, I
yeah.
use this as my teleprompter to
Oh
scroll up and
wow.
down. Yeah. So I use this for everything. This is like a mouse, but it's also I can toggle around the whole screen on my iPad or my iPhone with this thing.
I see.
And you know it's rich and you know it's rechargeable, but there ain't no batteries.
Right.
This thing lasts for 2 days. If you're constantly using it, it'll last
Mm.
you for 2 days on one single charge. I
Man,
could
that
literally play for 16 hours on it with this thing. I actually made a video about this one too.
I seen that. I seen that. But I thought you put that away. But now that you're saying that you use it a lot, I
Dude,
never
I
thought
actually
about
use it.
using controllers for controlling something other than a video game.
And see the good thing about this, it has a headphone plug.
Mm,
You could plug if you got an adapter, you could
mhm.
plug a thing in here and let somebody else, y'all two people could be listening to it while you still playing the game.
Oh wow.
Other
I
than doing the dual Bluetooth.
I still use I don't know where it's at, but I don't I barely have time to play anything like that. But when I do have time, um, I still use the PS4 controller.
Yeah, I mean, I have a PlayStation 2 and I also have an Xbox. So I use the Xbox, but like I said in the video, the Xbox controller actually doesn't work on iOS devices as good as the Stadia controller does. I don't never have any issues at all with any, and I can use this with a wire, USB-C wire, or I
Mhm.
could use it as Bluetooth. So I
Is
can
that
use
is
it
that
both.
USB-C?
Yeah. So I can use it either or, Bluetooth or by the wire. So
Alright.
if the battery starts dying, I just plug it into the iPad or the laptop,
Mhm.
and while I'm using it, it's actually charging, which is
Oh.
crazy. Because after I see the orange light go off, watch, I'll show you. Once I see this little orange light, it usually it's orange when it's connected. But right
Right.
now it's trying to pair.
So, let me ask you something. When you bought that, did you have the Stadia Google thing? Or,
Yeah, I had.
you know what?
Well, let me tell you how I wound up with this. So there's always perks to having YouTube Premium.
Right.
I've been having YouTube Premium for 5, 6 years now.
Mm.
Even when they upgraded, we got 6 people on a family plan, so
Okay.
we use it all the time because it also comes with YouTube Music, which that's the thing I use. I use YouTube Music and I use Spotify.
Okay.
So so Google sent me an email saying, "Okay, I want to give you a gift." They didn't tell me what it was. So because you have YouTube Premium, I want to send you out a gift. So they sent me out a gift. They sent me this with the Stadia, the whole Stadia system, with three
Oh.
months, 3 months free subscription.
Right.
So, and then after in 2021, well, I think it was 2021 or 2022. I
Mhm.
think it was 2022. They stopped supporting this.
Right.
So Google sent out a thing which they actually extended it for another year, where you can take this and turn this into a Bluetooth device. So I had to download software actually on the laptop and download it to this. It updated. And once
Oh.
I did that, now it's a full blown Bluetooth controller for as long as I have it.
Okay.
It might, and the website might still be up because, like I said, they decided to extend it. And then you know how sometimes, even though they say they might not support it no more,
Mhm.
they might, if you go to the website, they still might let you do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that does happen.
They have, yeah, they also have to upgrade, like, security measures and stuff like that.
Right, right. Yeah, but
Yeah, those
that thing works good, bro.
nice.
But like I was saying, this is the charge I use. It has 4 plugs on it. It has a little
Mm.
window. It tells me what the percentage is. It's 2 USB-Cs and 2 USB-As. And it's 65 watts.
Now,
I got this on Temu for $4.
I've been using Timo as well, man. That
Dude,
thing
I
is
got 2 orders
crazy.
right now on Temu. We buy Temu literally every week or every couple of weeks or at least twice a month. Uh, we actually got 2 orders. We just ordered another Temu today, and I got another order Temu coming in this week coming.
Yeah.
By the end of this week, by the 23rd.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Timu's
buy a
something
lot of
different.
stuff. Dude, because the way I look at it, yeah, I had Amazon Prime for a lot of years. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't really watch Amazon Video. I really don't use Amazon Music. And why would I want to pay a subscription for Amazon if I'm not using Amazon all the time? If I'm not using those other services? Yeah, but if Amazon came out with the internet like they talking about coming out with a satellite, like Elon Musk did, you know what I'm saying? Then I probably would try it again. But right now, I'm paying $15 a month for Amazon that I'm not using every day. So Amazon got slick because a lot of people don't order every single day. So now, when you want to do an order, Amazon gave you Amazon came up with this thing. You could buy a 1 day subscription
Oh,
if you
really?
want to order something off Amazon. And the money that you put on there, they just take that $1.99. They take $1.99, just like it would be like a tax on whatever you're buying. And then after that, I take my credit card off. I had the credit card on, buy what I need to buy, so they can't try to pull a monthly fee from it.
Yeah.
And then whenever I need to use it, then I just add it back.
Mm. I keep my Amazon subscription because I'm always ordering things from Amazon, and I order it today, and it's here tomorrow.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I love that too.
you know what I
Like I
mean?
said, if I want it right away,
Hmm.
but see, the thing is, we have a Amazon box down the street from our house now. They actually
Mm,
have a big old Amazon warehouse, not literally not even a mile from our house. So we can actually go to Walgreens and the Amazon box is right there. So I mean, I literally don't even have to do a delivery. You know what I'm saying? I can
yeah,
order it and then go right there and pick it up
and then
for the
and
dollar
it's
ninety
probably
nine cent.
and it's probably got a big warehouse, so it's probably got a lot of the things that everybody buys from around the area.
Right,
Because I've seen the data structure for Amazon, and I'm a software developer, so I've seen the algorithms and all the data it processes. So it basically just it's basically a huge AI computer, and it says, hey, around this area, around this time, there's a bunch of this product that's being sold. So please send this product to this warehouse at
right,
this time frame. And it does that automatically. Like nobody has to look at the data. It just does it because it has AI and it's got all this processing. It does it, and that's why Amazon is so quick to ship you something because it already knows that you're gonna need it. And especially when you click on that box that says, "Hey, we're gonna check some data from you,
right,
and if you don't check this box, then we're not gonna send you anything." So
right,
they're pretty
exactly.
much just telling you, if you don't check this box, if you don't let us keep your data, we're not gonna be with you.
Right.
And that the data structure for Amazon, their AI tools, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I know it is crazy.
I mean, Facebook just got sued. It was on the news a couple days ago. I think it was like last week for all the like data that they robbed and stuff. Um, I think
Yeah,
some
I don't.
like some
I really
kids
don't
died or something
understand.
like that.
Yeah, and I don't understand how they get out. They say money is the root of all evil, but they got so much money that they're able to buy their way out of that kind of stuff.
I mean,
Which
I
I don't think the government should allow that kind of stuff to happen.
okay. So I live in Mexico, right?
Right.
I'm in Mexico. How much bad shit do you see on your news about Mexico?
Not none.
Well, because you're
I
in
hardly
Texas,
ever
right?
see it.
You're in
Right,
Texas, right?
right.
But when you go up north, I got customers in Ohio, a big automotive industries in Ohio, Michigan, that area, right? They can't come down to my part of Mexico because the news over on their area says it's very dangerous,
That's crazy.
right? And then everybody in America thinks that. all Mexico is very, very corrupt.
Right.
But I mean, I used to live in Chicago. I was in the Blagojevich area where he sold Barack Obama's Senate seat for $13 million, and he got like a year,
Wow.
and then he got out, and then he was back to politics. So
That's crazy.
Facebook, um, who's on? Who else was on? TikTok was on there. You know,
Right.
they were all having their trials. Everybody's corrupt and everybody has a price. The
Well, where
U.S.
I'm
the
from,
U.S. government has a price. The U.S. government
dude,
needs a price.
let me say it. Where I'm from New Orleans originally. You know,
Mm,
I moved to Texas after Katrina. You know,
mm.
I've been back and forth from Louisiana. Now, don't do you know that there's more Mexicans in Louisiana now and more other nationalities in Louisiana now than what we had before?
And why
And
is
we're
that?
still and we're still they still call us the murder capital of the United States. Besides LA, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they have so many, and when I lived there, yes, I've seen some crazy stuff going on. You know, I've heard some wild stories around the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But I moved to Texas. People like, man, you to say you've been living in Texas as long as you have, you never lost your accent. Your
Ah,
New Orleans accent is still strong as I don't know what.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but because I'm from the hood. I'm New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Straight New Orleans, eight ward. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm from between the seven ward and the night ward. So like I'm like right in the middle of both of the most terrible wards besides the Uptown ward, which where Lil Wayne is from. You know, Lil
right.
Wayne, Baby, and all them. I used to be I used to wait on them at the restaurant where I used to manage. I managed a restaurant for 24 years and on St. Charles in Louisiana. And like all of Cash Money was always right there. You know what I'm saying? In that
Oh,
restaurant. Because it was a 24-hour spot. You go to the club, you go to the trolley stop, which now they're closed. Because when I moved to Texas, the people decided to close because they weren't able to handle the volume no more without me being there.
mm,
But they were supposed to boost my pay because they was pushing me to general manager. They're supposed to boost my pay, but they say, oh, well, we're gonna keep it the same. You're gonna be general manager for 6 months, and then we're gonna move it up. I was like, no, that's not gonna work for me. I said, I've been at this place longer, just as long as the people that owned it.
mm,
I was one of the first ones to open it because we actually had two different spots. We had one further down St. Charles, Louisiana, and then we had the main spot, which was right in the middle of St. Charles, where we had Mardi Gras and all of that. When we had
mm,
Mardi Gras, dude, I used to better go back there and cook, wait tables, make change, uh, do bartending, make drinks, and deal with all the customers when they had complaints. And they used to have a lot of dudes that was there that worked with me on it because I was a night shift manager. Nobody would work the night shift but me because I was the only one that could handle the people. You know, I even
bunch of
had like
people,
a tall black dude. He was like 6'9", and he
huh?
was
Mm,
scared. He'd be scared of the customer. Like I'd go in the back for a minute to go upstairs, run upstairs, make some change, come back down so we could have some. Because we used to have carry our own bank, but I used to always have to get everybody change that worked on the floor as a waiter. So he come calling me one night and said, "Oh, I'm having trouble with these customers."
mm,
I said, "What's wrong?" Uh, it was two guys and a girl. He's like, the girls being real rude, and the dudes are being abrasive to me. And I don't want to deal with the table no more. I said, well, you're my co-supervisor. You know what I'm saying? Me and you are the two that runs this floor because I appointed you. I'm the main manager and you're my secondary. You can't handle your own table. Why would I need you as my secondary?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you can't control a girl's temperature, a temper, then you can't wait tables because it's gonna be some nights where I need to be off and I need you. So he'll be calling me on the phone when I'm off. I'm having some rude customers. So then guess who shows up? Three of them show up at the same time. Floyd Mayweather comes to the restaurant. Tony Braxton and Baby from Cash Money. Tony Braxton and Baby is dating. They come when Baby comes in the restaurant. I literally he pays me to block off a section of the restaurant just for him and his entourage. You know what I'm saying? So I block off the non-smoking section because back then they had smoking and non-smoking. So I
Yeah.
block off the non-smoking and give him that whole section, and he puts $800 in my pocket. Floyd Mayweather drops me $1,600 and says, "Just get my food out." So I take all that money that I make from both of them. I take all that money and I divide it between my kitchen, the wait staff, the bus people, and bartender, whoever's working that night. And I split it straight down the middle because
Yeah.
I also get manager pay.
Right.
So like literally we got three different shifts. So the all the people that work on other shifts is like, man, we want to work on Will's section. My name
Mm.
is Will. We want to work on Will's shift. We don't want to work on no other shift. Will treats us the best out of everybody.
Mm.
He'll come back there and help us cook. I'll go out there and wait tables. I'll do whatever I need to do to make everybody sad. I said, do you know that's the reason why I've been there for 24 years?
Mm.
And that's why I get what I want. And so, like I said, I've been through a lot of waiters and waitresses and cooks. But like I said, when I started to become that main person that's going to be running the restaurant, running an entire restaurant for all three shifts, and they didn't want to give me my $4,000 a week or every couple of weeks, like I'm supposed to get paid. I was like, no, I'm not doing it
Mhm.
because I mean,
See,
I'm already making almost $3,000 every couple of weeks.
but see that
You
goes
know,
back to my point.
right,
Everybody has a price.
right,
Everybody's
exactly,
got a price. So, we were talking about Mark Zuckerberg and the CEO
right,
of TikTok and everybody. They're paying who knows who to stay
right,
on, and even though they're
right,
doing their shenanigans behind the scenes, they're still doing it. I mean,
right,
you know what I mean? And it's funny you talk about waitress and waiters and all that.
right,
I used to work in northwest suburbs of Chicago. I used to work at a pizza pub. Love Loved working in the kitchens and waiting and everything that has to do with the restaurant. I still love it, and I would still go. I'm down to it. You know what I mean?
right.
But I've been to Japan twice.
I want to go, man. I
Man,
really want to go.
my wife's Japanese, so I get we have to go see the family. So I've been to
Right,
Japan twice, and let me tell you, the experience of not having a waiter or not having a waitress and just going and picking your food and then having somebody just bring it out, that is an unforgettable experience because you get exactly what you chose and
right,
nobody messes it up. It's not like, oh, I misheard you or
right,
anything like that. And it's great, but then again, that's why Japan, for every 5 senior citizens, there's 1 baby.
Right.
Nobody wants to have kids anymore. Why? Because
Right.
they know there's not gonna be jobs. They're too worried about their careers. They don't have time for family stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess my question to you is, do you see this happening in the States as well? Because there's a lot of things that are being automatically now in the States, a lot more than down here in Mexico. I mean, 10 years ago, I was living in Chicago. 11 years ago, I was living in Chicago, and they already had, the self checkouts.
Right.
We're barely getting that in Mexico.
They trying to do away with it out here
Oh,
because
really?
they got so many scam things going through now, going through self checkout, where people are taking the machines and putting it on top of the credit card machine, and people come by and swipe it, and then they turn around and walk away with people's credit card information.
Ah, see,
So I mean, they're limited, but they when that is there, they got two people standing there now instead of one. One person watching one side and one person watching the other side.
so is it common to use wireless pay? Like Apple Pay,
I
Samsung Pay, all that.
I I I would use it, but I'm gonna tell you why I won't use it. I got too much personal information, bank information, all that kind of stuff on there, and I just don't trust me scanning with an NFC chip or even my Apple Watch or the Apple phone or the iPhone because of security issues. Yeah, Apple says, yeah, we shouldn't have no problem with security, but what happens when we do?
But
Is Apple gonna do anything about that?
I mean, how many how many frauds or how many cases has been reported for identity theft through the Apple Pay?
None that I know of.
So, and how
I
many
mean,
how many how many have been reported through a swipe?
a lot,
Okay. See where I'm
a
going?
lot,
Like
right,
the digital era is here and it's here to stay and it's gonna only keep getting better. Yeah, there's people that program this that know the tricks because there
right,
always has to be a backdoor. As a
right,
software developer, I know we have to put a backdoor
right,
to
right.
everything that we do. There is a backdoor. That software engineer that helped or the software team that helped make that software accessible has to have that. But there is, again, like I'm saying, regulations, there's rules, there's NDAs, there's anything you have to sign when it comes to the company that says, hey, you know what?
Right,
We know you did this, but we know you know how to hack it. So you
right.
have to sign this and saying that you will not.
So you know what I had a tendency to do when I started feeling like that? I decided to open two bank accounts. I had
Mm,
one bank account. I do everything if I'm gonna buy something or doing online. I actually use Cash App to order like Temu, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. I actually use Cash App for that. Now, everything else, I have two bank accounts. So I use one bank account to transfer money to the other one or transfer money from that one back to the other one. So
mhm.
in case something was to happen, like what you're talking about, and I use Apple Pay, I use NFC, or I use even Swipe, you know what I'm saying? Because you can also tap your card too. They got the tap feature now.
Yeah.
Also, if something was to happen to that account, you know, I can hurry up and move and transfer that money to my other account. And I ain't got to worry about that being my main account. It's
So,
like a secondary account.
so do you have insurance for your accounts?
Yes,
So
yes.
I got hacked on a
It's
credit
only
card
up.
that
It's only up to, but it's only up to $400,000 per account.
I got hacked on one of my credit cards that I don't have it registered or under any subscription. Basically, that credit card I just use for gas. and it was great because
right,
it gave me cash back on gas money. And I got frauded on that, but I have um the insurance. I have the protection, right? So I called and they, hey, you know what? This is that. They're like, all right, we'll get your information. They called back 3, 4 business days later. Like, hey, we identified it wasn't you. Somebody hacked you, and it was somewhere. I don't know. It was like in Brazil that they bought some of the credit card, and they're like, we know it wasn't you because you bought something the day before and you were in this
right,
part of the country, whatever. So when it comes time to the NFCs and everything that's being digital, the IP the IP address is unique.
right.
So when you use your iPhone has an IP address. Everything
Yeah,
everything everything does is
yeah, you got it set to automatic. The what is it called? DC something? I can't think of the
DHCS,
name. Yeah,
DHCP.
yeah. That's set to automatic.
Right.
So I don't have mine set like that.
So you have your
I mine is manually set to static. So my IP address never stays the same. And I'm not using no VPN. I learned that when I was in trade school, when I
But do
went
you
to school
know
for
do you know
computers.
what's do you know what static is?
Static, the IP address changes.
It changes, but do you what IP address do you use? Do you use the IP1, IP2, IP3, IP4? Because there's different
Whatever,
segments. And
right,
depending on the segment you use, it's harder to track or it's harder to hack depending on the
right.
IP you use. And yeah,
I
tech for your needs. Nothing's bulletproof in today's digital content.
right,
Nothing.
right,
But there's a lot. I find it a lot more easier to use Apple Pay than a regular credit
right,
card
right,
because not. I'm doing a program now where I'm working for detecting robbed cars based on the characteristics you give
right,
the police officer or whatnot. You have pictures of your car, and then we use the cameras in the city, and they detect the car, and then it's got to have like a 99% accuracy, so we can send an officer to get that to review that car and then get it back, right? So I think that the digital world is not perfect, but it's a lot harder to hack specific things.
right,
The visual Face ID for Apple, that thing is a very long code. It's very
right.
long and it's got a bunch of security measures to prevent that from, being, even if it's,
And
a twin, it's very hard for
right,
it to be like, hey, you know what? Here's my face, but here's my face. We look the same, but it's gonna say, hey, there's something different.
yeah, a twin. If you had a twin, because my wife,
Yeah.
she's a twin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my wife is a twin. My sister stays way in Boston, Massachusetts, and we stay way out here in Texas. But
Uh,
that's why, and that's the reason why I have my iPhone as my main phone because I feel more secure with my iPhone than I do with an Android phone.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
tech for your needs. He
But
did
I
say
like them both.
he says, do you want to live in fear all your life? No,
No, I'm not going to. I
no.
did that enough. I did that enough when I was growing up in New Orleans. When I was just I was a young buck growing up
Yeah.
with I grew up with Cash Money and all them before they became famous. You know, like literally like all the people from Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? And we had our moments where it was like, oh, you can't go to that ward and you can't go to that ward and you can't go to that ward. Well, how does this dude right here, he could just walk through any ward and nobody tell him nothing.
Mm,
Why is that? Because of the way he got treated when he worked for the restaurant.
Yeah, everybody knew you from the restaurant.
Yeah. Like literally everybody from all the wards knew me from the restaurant. It's like I became one of New Orleans icons. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
I couldn't walk down the street and somebody not know me. That's
Yeah.
how well known I was. I cannot walk nowhere or drive nowhere and somebody not know me. Now even in Texas, I go somewhere and so yeah, but Texas is like 3 or 4 times bigger than Louisiana.
Hmm.
But I might go somewhere every once in a while and run into somebody. Dude, ain't you from New Orleans? They pick up on it from the accent.
Right.
Like, yeah, oh, ain't your name? They used to call me Red back in the day.
Red.
Ain't you Red? Now, Goldie. You know what I'm saying?
Gold.
But then people got attached to Will because Will was my waiter name.
Mm.
Everybody was like, "Yeah, we go. You want to go eat somewhere? Go by Will. Will take care of you."
So,
I always did. I always took
we-
care of, and it was my personality, dude. My spirit. I had old ladies tell me all the time, "I don't know where you get the spirit you have. You just have a beautiful spirit."
look at Tech for Your Needs. He says he went to trade school for networking administration. Big
I
ups,
did the same thing.
and he's from Boston.
Right. That's where my sister
Shout out to
from
Boston.
Boston. My wife's twin is from well, she's from New Orleans too, but she lives in Boston now. Now she's been there for a
Boston.
while.
Boston people also have a thick accent.
Right.
I've
I
noticed that.
I tried living in Boston, but the air is so stale out there. It just it's stale. Like you walk around and the smell, dude. I just couldn't handle it. And the atmosphere, because there's so many hills and mountains and stuff out there, and
Hmm.
it's just awkward. I was like,
Yeah,
I
you.
can't stay out here. I went out there for about a year
Mm,
after Katrina, because
mm,
I was actually working for SBA, the Business Administration, for a while out there. And I did that for like a year. And I was like, they promised me all these different things and rental cars and housing and all that. And then after 6 months, they wanted me to start paying for it. I was like, I'm not doing that. So
mhm,
I stayed renting where I was at, and I waited 6 more months, and I moved back to Louisiana.
mm.
But I didn't really care for it while I was out there. It was all right. It
So,
wasn't much to do.
right. I'm. I think every city in the states has its own vibe, has its own atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Right.
I never got a chance to go to New Orleans. Um, I got cousins that live in San Antonio, Texas. Um,
I actually
as
like
far
San Antonio.
as East Coast, the most East Coast I ever been was Indiana. I never went all East Coast, like all the way to New York, New Jersey, Boston. I never went that far. And then West Coast, as far as I got was Denver. I never went, to LA, nothing like that. But I think every city's got their vibe. Every city's got, their atmosphere. So
Right.
you seen what's happening with Vision Pro, right?
Right.
Everybody's returning it, and the people that don't return it are the people that are like, I just don't want to return it because it's the first generation of its kind.
Right.
There's this guy, um, his YouTube channel's Snazzy Labs,
Yeah, I know you're
and
talking about. He's always on John Prosser and
yeah,
Sam's lives.
yeah.
He was just on that the other day.
So you saw that podcast? You saw the
Yeah, I
video?
saw it. Yeah,
Did you?
I watch theirs every week.
So me too. But he said something that stuck to me, and he said, "I have the Vision Pro, but I have not found a use case for it."
Right.
So I was like, "All right, Apple put out this product that's $3,500 base model. You spec it up, you go up to like $4,000. So how what do you think needs to be done in the second generation to be more attractive for consumers like me and you that are average consumers?"
You're gonna laugh when I say this.
What was that?
It needs to be like more like the Meta Quest 3.
Why is that?
The reason why I say that because on the Meta Quest 3, which I don't have it, but as many YouTube videos that I'm watching, so many people that I talk to that have the Quest, you can open up multiple windows of the same app on there, and on the Apple Vision Pro you can't. And you could do a lot more things, like literally like what's his name, Mark,
Mark Zuckerberg?
like Mark Zuckerberg said on his video the other day. He just had came out with a video where he tried the Apple Vision Pro against the
Yeah.
Meta, and John Prosser and Sam was talking about it,
Mhm.
and also the dude that you was just talking about on the other channel,
Quinn. Quinn, that's his
Quinn,
name.
yeah,
Quinn,
Snazzy
yeah.
Labs, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like him a lot. He's funny, and
Yeah.
he come out there raw, man. He don't hold nothing on his tongue. And he'll tell John Prosser and Sam, look, dude, I don't care what y'all say, y'all wrong. You know, this is how it is. You're looking at it the wrong way. You're not supposed to be looking at it the way you're looking at it. That's why
Mhm.
y'all don't see the big purpose of the Apple Vision Pro. Now, like a year ago, like everybody was saying, before the Apple Vision Pro came out, which I made a video about that before the Apple Vision Pro ever came out, where I was talking about when the VR came out. The first one is, and like a lot of posts and a lot of people on social media, it was only supposed to be made for developers. To that first one is supposed to be just for developers, not for the average user.
Mm.
But I noticed that Apple still wanted to put it out anyway to see how many people will buy it. That way they knew, okay, well, if this many people is gonna buy it, they're gonna be ready for the next one when the second version comes out. Because the second version is gonna be half
I
bigger
hope
than half bigger than this one right here, smaller and lighter
and
because
cheaper.
they send all the and cheaper. Because like I said, this main one is just gonna be for developers and the people that have it right now. Yeah, a lot of people are bringing it back because it don't make no sense to have it. There's a lot of YouTubers that use it. They're only using it for 30, 45 minutes at a time just to watch a movie. Yeah, it's good for airplanes to get on an airplane and use it, but your normal workflow, you can't use no Apple Vision Pro for no normal workflow.
No.
Who in the world it wants to be in a virtual world doing work? I know I wouldn't. I'd
No.
rather have 3 monitors sitting in front of me and me working that way than me doing it. I don't care how many times I don't have to hold a controller and just do it with my fingers and look at it with my eyes. It ain't the same as the material thing.
Look, I've said it before in a lot of my videos, and I stand by it. I need buttons. I need physical buttons.
I know I do too. I
I need
need to
physical
feel that
buttons.
click.
Exactly.
Need to feel it.
Exactly.
And yeah,
So
they'll have the vibration on the Apple Vision Pro eventually. It'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool. Vision Pro will get better with time. Let's see after 6 to 8 months. It ages software updates. Yeah, I could see that. Uh,
I see the software updates, yes,
right,
but
right,
like they've been saying, the hardware is way too advanced for the software that we have out right now.
right,
So
right,
we're gonna see software updates eventually, right? But hardware is being updated so fast that
right.
by the time we do catch up on the software side, it's gonna have new hardware.
To me, this is what I always have these things buried in the back of my head. Like, why do people not come up with these things that, if I can think of them, I'm pretty sure there's smart, smart people that can think the same way I think. I have a lot of things inside of me that don't exist, and I don't know if that ever exist because I'm so into tech. I breathe and live tech every single day. That's all I think about. That's all I read about, and that's all I do. But I see the Apple Vision Pro. If you really think about it, to me, I use common sense. And if a lot of people don't have common sense, they're not going to understand what I'm saying. If you notice in the Apple, which Snazzy Labs literally said it the perfect way in the video the other day. And John Processor also mentioned it also. If you notice when you're in the Apple Vision Pro, you can't use your iPhone.
Oh yeah.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna use that iPhone as a remote control eventually.
I had a video that I think I put out like 2, 3 years ago. I had I think it was the Apple Watch Series 6. The Apple Watch Series 6 at that time, you can move it around and you can literally
Right,
select things by moving your wrist and then double tapping, right?
right,
iPhone or the what is it? The 9 Series 9 came out, and then
right,
you have like this double pinch and it does something
right.
right, but that was already there before. And I did talk about that video and it
I
was a
did
small
too. I had a video like that too.
it was a small video. I think it was like 2, 3 minute video. It got
Right.
it got pretty good views. As far as my size of
Yeah,
channel
cause
goes.
cause you cause you could do it in accessibility.
Right,
It
but
allows you to do it enough.
I was talking that I was thinking that with that accessibility, it was gonna be something for the Vision Pro. I
Right,
thought that we were gonna have to have, like, an Apple Watch to control
right,
it a little better,
right,
and it has, cameras and sensors all around, but
right,
they did say that if your hands are out of that reach, if you have your hands back here
right,
and you
right,
pinch, it's not gonna read it.
right. It's not gonna read it.
It's not gonna read
Exactly.
it, so they should do a software update, so even if your hand is, like, back here or you're,
Right.
scratching your ass or whatnot, but if you have an
Uh,
Apple Watch, if you can double pinch, it should be able
right,
to pick it up on the
exactly.
Vision Pro.
Yeah, through Bluetooth or either Wi-Fi.
AirPlay,
Right,
Bluetooth,
AirPlay.
you know what I
Exactly,
mean? I mean,
exactly.
it's just a connectivity. I think see,
It's gonna be every
what
2 years, I believe.
I think it's
They're
gonna be
not
even
gonna.
longer than that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do an Apple Vision Pro every year
I
or
think I
that
think it's gonna be
every
even
2 years.
longer than 2 years, and I'll tell you why. The manufacturing process for this device was one of the most toughest for Apple, and they've commented on they've stated this, that the
Right,
manufacturing for this is so brutal that it literally takes hours to produce one.
right.
So
Because all them sensors with the eye and the hands.
all that and then, it's just the hardware's gotta be set in a specific area, all that. There's robots, it's gotta be a clean environment, it's got chips, it's got all that, right? When was the last time they updated? the AirPods Pro Max or the AirPods Max.
One time.
We've only gotten the first generation, and
One.
it's
Yeah,
been 3
one.
years. It's been
Right,
3 years.
right. And
So
they just start
that
coming out with it this year.
the rumors are that they'll
Right,
come out with it this year. So that product was pretty well sold, right? It was a pretty well sold product, and Apple made some money off of it.
right.
Vision Pro, not everybody has the $4,000, $3,000 to
No.
spend on it. So I don't think Apple is going to invest a lot of their development money, a lot of their research money into making this work so fast because they're not going to make that money back when it
Right,
comes to business, when it comes to the business vision of it.
right.
So
Because you gotta
I
think
think,
all the people that worked on it too.
and the
Yeah,
software developer does not get paid
right.
$10 an hour. You know what I mean?
No.
So
Uh-uh.
I think it's going to be 3 to 4 years before we get the second gen.
I think people will be mad though. I don't think people gonna wanna
Here's the
wait that
thing.
long.
But here's the thing. Vision Pro, Vision Pro, that would probably be 3 4 years. But we will probably get a cheaper version in 2 years.
Right,
You know what I mean? But the
right.
Vision Pro, the Pro version, which
Right.
was the thing that, they're like, all
Yeah,
right,
cause
we're gonna
I
sell
cause
it
I
like this so you can see what it's capable of doing. And then we're gonna
right,
give you this other little one so you can buy and
right,
you can
right.
play with
Test it
it,
out.
try it out.
Right,
And then you're gonna be like, oh, if this one does this, I will only expect this from
right,
the Pro, and I gotta go up there. And I think that's the ladder that Apple is playing with the Vision
right.
Pro.
Yeah, I heard the room. Did you see that post I put out about a week ago about the
Which
Apple
one?
Vision Pro?
No, which
Either a
one?
week or two ago, that the rumor that they're coming out with the Apple Vision Air,
Oh, I didn't see that. They come up with Visionaire?
Apple Vision Air, and it's gonna be $1,500. Or they said between 1,500 and it could be below 1,000. So hopefully that comes out. At the current stage, the Vision Pro has too many problems. A quick update is needed to fix some of the basic that you guys are talking. Yeah, you're exactly right.
So they already have beta. They already have beta versions, right? Um,
Yeah,
I think Sam and Prosser talked about how they did the beta and
yeah,
their face scan was a little better,
yeah.
and
And
then
there was one, and there was one that what yeah, I keep forgetting his name from Snazzy Labs. What's his name?
Quinn.
Quinn. And Quinn's uh his what you call that? The thing in Vision Pro, his FaceTime
Oh yeah,
emoji was better than theirs
right.
because he put his on a computer and tweaked his
A
with the
return of
beta.
investment. Return of
With
investment.
right,
Tech for your
exactly.
needs and knows. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I
Do
mean,
do do you ever
they
watch his videos? Do you ever watch his lives?
no, I'm gonna subscribe to his because
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of my subscribers. I
I'm
actually
gonna subscribe.
dude, all right, so I know we've been talking about this for a long time. We haven't really been talking about tech, but have you seen how much my channel has grown?
I have, and
Dude,
actually,
I'm almost at 800 subscribers already.
I know you told me a while back, and I tried it out, and you said, "Hey, do this, and your subscribers is gonna go way up." And I was like, "I'm gonna try it." I've had so much schoolwork
I
and
know.
all the things that I've been doing, but I did start uploading only shorts,
Right.
and them shorts got a lot of subscribers.
Right.
And then I put out,
In
three,
a
four
matter
shorts
of
with it,
days. In a matter of
in a matter
days.
of days. I think one of them got. Oh yeah, for sure. we'll do
Yeah,
a live stream. Yeah.
yeah, I come to your live stream every once in a while when I'm not when like he said when I'm not busy.
Yeah, but
I'm always watching his videos though.
I'm
I
gonna
always
subscribe. I don't
yeah.
know
I got him on X too.
on X.
Yeah, I'm following him on X too.
Let me go on here real quick. Coding on the Vision Pro. I gotta watch that video. Go to Tech for Your Needs. There you are. He's at 820 subscribers. Good shit, man. Good shit.
Yeah, he right above me. And
Yeah.
dude, you know how long I've been doing this?
How long?
Which that's what this video today was gonna be about. This live stream was gonna be about.
Oh man, I hate using um X on a desktop or laptop
Oh,
because
I don't like it either. It
I
sucks.
I don't even know where the
The
search
the
button
the
is.
the way it's viewed.
Oh, there you are. You subscribe or you follow me. I'm gonna follow you back. Tech for your needs. Ooh,
You got some good stuff on there, bro.
I'm gonna go watch that. That's my homework for tonight.
Yeah, we'll definitely come to your live stream, bro. I like this new. I wanted to see how it's gonna play on the shorts feed. These live streams. Tech for Needs, does it? Have you tried? Do you see this on the shorts feed? Oh yeah, you're welcome, bro. Anytime.
For sure, man. So I think next time we do a live stream, we gotta have like some topics that we have pre-planned, to talk about.
I actually have some. Remember,
Oh,
I told you I have two scripts already wrote for
there you
this
go.
live stream. So one is the iOS 18 update, and the other
Uh-huh.
one is growing a channel on YouTube.
Okay.
So
So,
so the first one is the iOS 18. So let me tell you this first. So I started my channel 3 years ago.
mm,
The first year or two, yeah, I was uploading videos, but not as often as I do now.
right.
So 2023 became a big year for me. And what really got me interested in YouTube a lot last year was when they came out with the Shorts partnership.
Mm,
It was another way to, and I seen that as the ability to move up faster. Me, I love what I do. It's not really about the money. Yeah, if I make money, I'm not gonna compare myself to Marquez or Mr. Beast or none of them. But the same way that they use their money to help people is the same way I want to use it to help people. But I don't want to use it to help people the way that they're doing. Yeah, it's good to help the world. I want to use my money to help YouTubers become employers, their own employer,
mm.
instead of having to go out there and work for somebody else. So give them all the things that they need the things that they don't understand, the things that they actually need in order to run a successful business
Mm.
online without having to actually be present.
So, mm, see, I started YouTube because I've always loved tech. Like
Same here.
tech has always been part of like who I am.
Right,
Everybody, they're like, "Hey, it took you long enough to start a YouTube channel, bro, because you've been talking. You showed us, things that we didn't know we could do with our phones. Back when the ringtones were in play, I showed them, apps you can download so you can make your own customized
right,
ringtone, all that.
right.
So I've been about tech for a long, long time, and then
Dude,
recently,
if I'd have got on YouTube when YouTube first came out, I would probably be the biggest YouTuber there ever was. And the reason why I say that is I was in the era back when it was MP3 Rocket. I don't know if you remember that.
yeah,
MP3 Rocket, where we could use literally, it wasn't copyright. You was able to download MP3 and MP4 videos
mm-hmm,
to your phone or to your laptop, and I was able to do that. And I could have been making so many videos from that time to now, where there's a lot of the newer YouTubers, they're young. You know what I'm saying? We're some of the old school. You know what I'm saying? We could teach them some things that they don't even know exist.
I I got this shirt that I I, I wore it on a few YouTube videos, and it says never forgotten, and then it's got the big old floppy disk, it's got a
Right,
VHS tape, and then it's got a cassette player,
right.
and my kid's never gonna know what the hell that is.
No, you're right about that. And so I was thinking about coming out with some MrNoble shirts,
Mm,
MrNoble TV, where, but it wasn't actually me, it was stick people. So stick people with like talking to each other on a shirt about iPhone this and Android this and like the stuff that you said with the floppy disk and stuff like that, and
yeah.
making it as a animated kind of T-shirt theme kind of thing, where
Mm,
like every month it come out with 5 new shirts with 5 new things from the old days and the new days. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And can you imagine how that would sell? I mean, like I said, I'm not really worried about the money. I
Mm-hmm.
Because I can actually do that right now in my house. I have a jet ink printer that I could print out stuff like because I also do DoorDash. So I had printed out a whole bunch of logos and put it on a T-shirt of a
Mm-hmm.
big DoorDash with all the restaurants that I go to work at, and I actually designed that. I'm actually a designer. Now I know the front of the computer and I know the back of the computer. So
Mm,
I can actually build a computer from parts. You know what I'm saying? I've been messing with electronics since I was a baby. So I was
yeah.
5 or 6 years old. I used to take radios and TVs and stuff apart because I wanted to know how they work. And I would sit there and put them back together.
Same here, same here. My
And
parents
that's
always
what,
got mad as hell.
yep. I was taking everybody's stuff apart and putting it back together. Then when I got into trade school, I went for electrician. I also did maintenance, but I went into carpentry and like all the different shops. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so all the different all the different classrooms, we was all compiled into this one giant space. So you could like literally go in every door. You come out, everybody worked in this big old space, no matter what department you was in. So, like on my lunch break, I used to go from one place to the next place to the next place, and so I started learning all. So I'm like a jack of all trades. So I
Yeah.
became a computer, carpentry, electricity. I know how to do all of that stuff now.
Mm.
And then I learned the business side from working for restaurants for over 30 years. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Well, started off as a dishwasher and worked my way all the way up to general manager.
Mm.
I also worked in hotels. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
what is your biggest, or what's your biggest advice for somebody that wants to start a YouTube channel in 2024?
all right, let me get back to that. Let me see. All right, so starting a YouTube channel in 24, it's niche formula and growth magic
Mm.
is the title. So what I mean by niche formula, whatever you're passionate about. If
Right.
you're not passionate about it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Exactly.
Don't get into it at all. Get into something that you're passionate about that you love to do because it will flow so consistently and so easy. And ideas will just flood your brain. You know what I'm saying? Well, you'll never run out of
Absolutely.
things to talk about. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Plus,
So,
it's not work. It's just fun.
right. See, a lot of people think, okay, I'm a small creator, but pretty soon I'm not going to be a small creator, even, no more. Eventually, once I get up there, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this for fame, and I'm not doing it for money. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little extra money to take care of my family, to be able to do more things. It's not really to go out and buy more products. That I'm not really trying to contribute to a business that's already a trillionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Yeah, I buy something because I like it. Now, I'm not going to buy every product that comes out just to do a review. Because if you pay attention to those ones that just do reviews, they don't get as much attraction as the ones that do more of personal experience and the passion for what they do. You know what I'm saying? And the storytelling. You know what I'm saying? If, like I said, if you don't put that where it needs, because if you're not doing it from here, you're just doing it from here. There's no attraction. You're
Yeah.
just doing it for the money.
Tech for your needs. He said he started his YouTube channel because other channels are being dishonest about the
Right.
products and
They too
reviews. Just
biased.
they were just pleasing the company. They probably had a
Right.
contract that said, "Hey, I'll give you this,"
Right.
but you gotta talk good about it, right? And
Right.
yeah, I feel the same way. I don't. I started a YouTube channel because I love tech, and I feel like there's things that people need to know, honest things that people need to
Right.
know about tech.
Right.
And I'm not one of those people that's gonna tell you, "You need to buy the newest iPhone, you need to buy the newest
Right.
Google
Right.
Pixel phone." I don't do that. You gotta I basically tell you, what is your main use for it? And based
Right.
on your main use for it, then I can probably recommend you a phone for you. And
Right.
it's not gonna be, the most expensive phone, it's not gonna be the cheapest phone
Right.
either, but it's gonna be for you. And then,
Right.
he says, he bought crappy things and then returned them. Yeah, I think
Right.
we've all been there. Um, a
Right.
lot of YouTubers now are struggling because they've signed to companies, and
Right.
they get free stuff, but they have to meet a deadline, and they have to
Right.
meet, all this other stuff. And Marquez, he said it in one of his videos. He said, thinking about quitting YouTube. I don't know if you saw that video, but he
Yeah.
said he said that it's really hard when you get that big, because when he was smaller, he was more on the creative side on how to
Right.
create content. Now he's got to manage his staff. Now he's got to be
Right.
his own accountant. Now he's got to,
Right.
do the promo deals. Now he's got to do all that. And I honestly don't want to get that big. I just
I'm
wanna
gonna
keep
tell
doing
you.
what I'm doing, but
Well, let me let
I
me
I wanna keep my content to get better and better quality as we go.
let me tell you. I'm a. I've always been good at business. You know what I'm saying? I've always been that way. ever since I was little. I always had, dude. When I was growing up, I was 12 or 13 years old. I was making $300 a week cutting grass. I used to
Cool.
mow all the yards around the neighborhood, and kids at school used to be mad at me like, "Yeah, but you don't want to get out here with me and make the money. You
Yep.
mad at me for what I got? It's not about the materialistic thing. It's about me enjoying my life as a child." So I'm not, if you want something, you have to get out there and hustle for it. Just like YouTube. If you want stuff to be good, you want people to admire you and trust your word. It's all about your word. Your word is your bond. My favorite movie says it the best. Scarface. You know, the first thing you got to do. What is that? You have to make the money. Once you make the money, then you have the power. After you get the power, everything else falls into place. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of reversed, but also in another, the way he said it. You know what I'm saying? People look at it as the straight way that he said it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was retarded towards the end when he got on drugs real bad, and he wound up ruining his life. But the main, if you notice, the main person that played his partner, which was Manny. Manny was the smartest one out of everybody,
Mhm.
but he never wanted Manny to get as big as him because he knew Manny was going to take over. Manny was smart, yeah, but Manny's problem was the women. You know what I'm saying? Manny had the problem with the woman. So his judgment when it comes to money sometimes kind of threw shade at him at himself, like he did with Soderbaum, and wound up getting Tony in trouble with Soderbaum over the money, finding out
Right.
that he was a cop. You know what I'm saying? But before Tony became big, the thing was you can't become true, even though even though he was loyal to Frank, and he told Frank, "I'm loyal to you." Like these people, they're gonna be loyal to us as a YouTuber. If you're telling them the truth, you're not biased, you're unbiased. You know what I'm saying? Tell them the truth. Tell them from the heart. Don't hold no punches. Like you said, when somebody gets a product, or they come to me to ask me, should I buy this? You're gonna tell them the honest truth.
Exactly.
I I've seen reviews on, and you're gonna know if a product is good or not, even if you don't buy it, because of that company's reputation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so it's because it's mostly about the software, not really about the hardware. It's mostly
Mhm.
about so yeah, we get all hyped up for sensors and the tech aspect, the technical part of it. But if you notice in my YouTube videos, a lot of people love me because I get straight to the point. I'm not sitting there talking about all the tech, the sensors and the megapixels and all the technical parts that come in the phone. Because if you want to know that, you could just go read it, for yourself. They want to know the God honest truth about the phone or whatever product they're getting, and you're able to tell them what the real is. You know what I'm saying? And they can trust your word. And then when they go get it, they're like, I always tell everybody in the video before the end of the video, if you ever need help, just ask. Come to one of my videos, leave a comment, or just come next, leave a comment, say you need some. I get people coming in my DMs all the time. Uh, Mr. Noble, can you help me? And if you notice, my name speaks for itself. That's what
Mhm.
noble means. Noble is a true person that's king, reign, the king of things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when, because when I first started out, my name wasn't Mr. Noble when I first started out YouTube. But over time, I changed it because I was like, you know what? I'm watching all these YouTubers. I'm not gonna name no names. These people are these people are yeah, they're good to watch, but some things that they say in their videos, They're too biased for me.
Mhm.
I'm not.
So
I'm never gonna stop watching them. You know what I'm saying? Because I also get things to critique
mhm.
from their videos that the way that they done it, the way that they said it shouldn't have been done or said that way.
So to sum it all up, YouTube 2024 is be honest. Be honest and have a niche that you're passionate about.
My needs and what I'm passionate about is creation.
So
Creating the best, putting out the best content I could possibly put out, and instead of putting out bullcrap. And like I said, I have a tendency to refrain back to another person, which Lil Wayne. I say Lil Wayne a lot. Lil Wayne is a dedicated hard worker, and he's a artist of his craft. He's he is music. You know what I'm saying? And
mhm,
I want to be. I am creation. You know what I'm saying? I want to be
mhm.
that person people look to. I am the creator. You know what I'm saying? Not an influencer. I don't want to influence you to do anything. I don't
You
want
just
you
wanna create
to
content.
you know. I want to be that true person in the digital world that gives you the precise. Just like if AI, if I was AI, but I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? If AI can do it, I can do it. Yeah, AI just does it a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, and like I said, eventually AI is going to be taking over the movie theaters.
Nah,
They're
don't
all the
say
whole
that. Don't
dude.
say that.
I'm telling you the way that they're creating these videos and these photos. I see these directors going to start using AI to give us movies faster than when we got to wait 3 or 4 years for a movie to come out. We only have to wait a year,
I mean, yeah, I could see that as far as vision goes, visually, but
like half of it, not all of it, but like
but
half of it to help them.
it's still the writing aspect to it. An AI doesn't have feelings. An
Right,
AI doesn't have
exactly.
emotions. So
Right.
we gotta have those writers, and those writers are gonna take their time to make the plot.
Well,
A
I'm gonna
good
tell
movie
you,
has a good plot. So I don't
I'm
think AI is gonna take care of all that.
no.
I
That's
hope
why
it
I said
doesn't.
half. That's why I said half.
Mm,
Let me tell you something. When you watch one of my videos, does it feel natural to you, or does it
yeah,
feel generated?
no, it's natural.
Can I tell you something that's gonna shock you when I tell you this?
What's that?
Half half of my stuff is AI, and the other half is me. And all of it is me because whatever I write in there comes from me. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So when I come up with a title, all right, so I generate 10 titles and I ask my family or I ask other people, what title fits the best because I want my title to be under 30 characters. Every title has to be no more than 40 characters on a title of a YouTube channel, on one of
Mm,
my YouTube videos, I mean. So I get the basic, I put in AI and I tell it exactly what I want my script to be about. I put my name in it.
mhm,
It throws it back to me with some stars on it. I tell you, I have to edit it. I edit it, take all the stars out. Once I do all that, I have a guideline. I have a guideline of what's in there. Some things that the AI said is true, and some of those things are not true, which is kind of creepy. You know what I'm saying? It gets kind of funny. Getting better in each video, meaning 1% every time I upload. Mine is more like 10% better. Yeah, last year was 1% for me. Now this year it went from 1 to 10% because now I learned how to be more creative and I learned how to edit better, and I'm still using the same software. I just
See,
learned to use the software better in a different way.
I want my goal for this year for YouTube in particular is um I want to become a better storyteller.
Right,
So I want to, I write what I do now is I don't write scripts out. I just put bullet points. And
right,
then I just when I talk about it in the video, I just wing it. But
right,
then when it comes time to editing, I see that I have stopped a lot. I
right.
mispronounce things a lot, mispronounce things a lot, and then it takes me longer to edit than it actually should take me to edit
All
a
right, so
video,
let me
right?
ask you this: what software do you use to edit?
Right now, I use Final Cut Pro.
I don't use that. I use CapCut.
A lot of
I
people
and
have
I
been
have
telling me about
and
CapCut.
I have CapCut. CapCut. I have CapCut Pro,
Mm,
and like I said, it's worth the money,
is it?
dude. They have so much. And actually, Quinn actually talked about that the other day too. Uh, how he was talking about Final Cut and all that on a video with John Prosser, because they mentioned that too in another video. Um, a lot of people is going more towards CapCut because they got s- all the complex stuff that's in Premiere Pro and Final Cut Pro and all those other programs. CapCut can do it 3 times faster.
See, I have CapCut downloaded on my phone, but I forget I have it and I don't use it. For like shorts and for TikTok and for vertical content, I use
Right.
InShot.
Well, CapCut is actually better than InShot. I done tried every program there is out there. CapCut seems to be the best. Let me tell you one thing about CapCut. There's a one button. There's a point in there that pauses out of your video,
Oh, I need that. I need that.
dude. It's but you gotta have the pro.
I think it's
But
not
like
that
I said,
expensive.
it's
How much
no,
is it
it's
a month?
not. I think it's 7.99,
Oh, that's not bad.
6.99, 7.99, something like that.
Mm,
But it's worth it. And like Canva, I also have Canva because I edit all my thumbnails and all that stuff in Canva,
yeah.
and set up your brand in Canva. I've been wanting to use LumaFusion,
Oh yeah.
but the only thing is I've heard too many people tell me uh, that my iPad Air 4 can't the processor can't handle that.
No, it should. It should because I've seen people use the iPhone 12 and they can edit very good on
Yeah,
LumaFusion.
but the iPhone 12 is better than the iPad 4, the
The
iPad
iPad Air 4, I
Air
think it's
4.
got the A14.
Yeah. Now iPad Air 5 has the M2 chip in it. That's the
No,
one I wanted.
the iPad Air 5 has the M1.
Well, yeah, with the M1 chip.
Yeah,
But you can use Final Cut Pro on it right now
this
on the
one.
iPad Air. Yeah, on the iPad Air 4, I can't use Final Cut Pro.
Oh no, you can't.
That sucks.
Yeah, my son's got the this is his tablet. He's got the M1 iPad Air.
Yeah, tell him I'll switch with. Cause
He's
I do
got
all my editing. I'll be about to pick up this iPad sometimes and want to throw it against the wall because I'll
mm,
be in at Canva or I'm editing a video and it start freezing on me and I gotta close it out and reboot it. I
yeah.
got too much going on at one time.
I bought the Mac Mini M2 Pro because where is it? It's over here somewhere. Over here. I bought the M2 Mac Mini Pro because I don't really do like a lot of special effects and everything like that, right?
Right.
So M1 base model is more than what I need. But I wanted to secure my investment and I wanted to make sure it's gonna last me a while. That's why
Right.
I decided I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna buy the M2 Pro base model, Mac Mini," and then I got the the adapter in the bottom, and I put a 2 terabyte SD on there. Um, but I use this computer here. I use it for two things. One is editing videos, and two is software development. That's the only
Right.
thing I use it for. Now I use my MacBook Air M2 for emails, for web browsing, um, things like that. Um, but as far as video editing, uh, the Mac Mini is
I would
is
definitely
up
use
there.
that too if I but, now since, CapCut also got desktop now. So I've been
Does it?
using that yeah, so I've been using that on the laptop now because I have a Windows laptop, the Windows
Mm,
10. So I use that every once in a while, but because I don't really like using a laptop. I'd rather use an iPad and a keyboard sometimes and
mm,
use my phones. So that's how I pretty much twerk everything. But
right.
what I like to yeah, tweak, but tweak everything. That's what I meant to say. I said twerk. So now there's on thing on Microsoft on laptops now where you can actually download Apple iCloud. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
sync
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so now I can sync my phone and my iPad straight with the laptop
Mhm.
and transfer things around like that. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of trying to use that now because my computer is more powerful than my iPad is. Even
Mm.
though my iPad is like almost $600, my
Mhm.
laptop is $800. I have a Lenovo. The Lenovo
Ah.
powerful, it's powerful. So
I had a Lenovo gaming, what was it? Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3.
right.
It had the Ryzen 5, processor.
Yeah, that's the one
Uh,
I got.
it had that. It had a decent graphics card. I think it was the
Right,
GeoNet Force 1650, something like that. And then it had I put in 16 gigabytes RAM, and it was a very very good laptop, very good. But I got 4 to 6 hours on a single battery on a single charge,
right,
and I hated that, and I hated carrying around the big ass brick. I hated carrying that around, and if I was gonna do, some intense video editing on that, I used to do, video editing with, DaVinci Resolve, and if I was doing
right,
something heavy and it wasn't plugged in, it was a, like, 2-hour battery charge,
right,
and this MacBook Air, I kid you not, I go to school on Saturdays, and it's full computer on because it's all software development. I go to school on Saturdays from 8 to 3, 4 PM sometimes, depending on if we have to stay for class or whatever. I think the lowest I've gotten the battery on 100% charge at the beginning of the day, at 4 PM, I think it's like at 70%.
oh wow, that's
And
good.
I
Mine been died
think
in 45 minutes.
I'm telling you, and I like I don't remember. I think the last time I charged it was Saturday morning,
Right,
right before I went to school. And let me see what it's got right now. Mm, it's got 59%. I don't know if you can see
wow.
it, but it's
Yeah, I
got
can see it.
59%. It's got 59%, and it's portable, it's light, it's it's one of the best laptops I've ever had in my life, and
I actually made a video about the same thing last year, not about
mm,
using an iPad versus using a laptop.
mm.
and I don't know what it is, but I'm just I love having an iPad. The
See,
iPad just does everything for me.
well, and we're opposite. Like
I know it's crazy
I can't use an iPad. I can use it for reading. That's about it. I can't use it
because
for emails, nothing like that.
you know how they were saying that the iPads would probably take over people using laptops.
Computers.
Yeah,
Mm,
and they'll become the ideal laptop
right,
because you know you got the touch screen. Well, that's the way I use mine now. I use a keyboard and I use the like I told you the Stadia controller.
right.
I use that Stadia controller, and that's how I do a lot of moving around on without having to move it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you know this, but I can just use the laptop for an extra screen for my iPad.
Mm.
So there is some free software that I use, and I can actually use go from the laptop to the iPad to two other cell phones and move those screens around, extend those screens all the way across all those devices at one time.
See, so with since the M1 came out, you can pretty much use your laptop, your desktop, your app, your tablet if it's a M1 chip, and you
Right.
can use the same mouse, the same keyboard, and control all three of them, and you can basically drag from one to the other
To the
without having
next
any
one. Right.
connections, right?
Right.
So that thing is, I mean, I love that because I'll be at school and I'll be working on my desktop or yeah, on my laptop, and then I get home
Hmm.
and I'm just like, I want I want to put it on the big screen, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna put it on my desktop, and it's literally just drag. Or
Right.
I have Microsoft 365, so I have the cloud, the OneDrive,
Right.
and it's synced up to my desktop, so I just open my files from there.
Right.
It's so much easier, and the cloud working now is so much easier than it was before.
I know
So,
that's awesome.
are you do you do you have time to game? Do you game at all?
Not every day.
No,
I
me
don't
neither.
do it every day. The
I
one the when I do, it's either like I said, Call of Duty, or
mm,
it's a racing game, or
mm,
either the like the space games where you know you use the rocket and you shoot other stuff in the outer space.
yeah,
You know, games like that. Every once in a while, me and my girls, my two girls, will play Call of Duty together. And like I said, I use the Stadia
Stadia
controller
control. Mm,
on the iPad, and I play like that. And we just do that for hours. But the thing I play the most on like Xbox, PlayStation, and if they had it on Nintendo Switch, would play it on there. It's GTA.
uh,
I could sit there and play GTA all day long.
all day.
And
I just finished. I just had to try it because Apple is going deep into gaming, and they just
right,
put out the Resident Evil Village. So I bought that. It was I don't know. I think it was like $20, something like that. It wasn't that expensive. So I bought it and I played it and I played it on this screen on the Mac Mini
right,
and I played it at high spec and man was it was flawless. It was just very
right,
smooth. I played it at 3K at 165 frames per second. It was smooth. It was nice and it wasn't loud like all those PC games.
right.
Because the computers on the PCs, the fans, man,
Yeah, I know for real.
the fans. So
So
this one was smooth.
the thing that gets me with playing the games on the iPhone, Yeah, Apple went up on Apple Arcade. Yeah, some games is good on Apple Arcade, but you went from 4.99 to 6.99. But how many people you know has a Apple Arcade subscription? I get free trials all the time. I go to Target or Best Buy, like every couple of months they'll have a subscription where I can try it for 2 or 3 months. So I'll
Mm.
do that. I don't know if you know about that.
You told me about that before.
Yeah, they have promotions where you can get iCloud for 3 months or 2 months or 4 months.
Mm.
Pretty much all the apples, the Apple Fitness, uh,
Yeah.
all the different subscriptions that Apple, like Apple One has.
Mm.
So that's what I live off of. I live off of those. When those run out, I don't use them no more because having T-Mobile, I actually have T-Mobile. I have 500 gigs of space with T-Mobile. With the Google One. So
Mhm.
I don't use iCloud storage. You know what I'm saying? I use the iCloud storage just to have 5 when the other things, because right now I got the 50 because I just got another thing off of Target again. So
Mm.
I got the 50 for a couple of months until April,
Mm.
and then after that I'll go back to the 5. But I just use the 5 to save like the files. I don't use it for photos. I don't use it for videos, and I use Google Photos for videos and photos to save. And it syncs straight from my phone. Every time I do that, it syncs to Google Photos. Once it syncs to Google Photos, I delete them off my phone. Then when I need them again, I go back and I put them back on my phone.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
just I just
and I
I
pay
I
$5 a month with T-Mobile.
I hate, like, going back and forth. Like, that's
Yeah,
just one thing I hate, so I just pay a subscription. I have Apple One, so I have Apple One Family. So I have, the music, the
right,
TV, the iCloud storage. I have all that, and then I also have, Microsoft 365 Family Pack, which is
right,
seven people. You got, I think, 7 people, something like that. And it's got my wife, myself, my son. He's 4 years old. He's 5 years old, so he doesn't need it, right? But
right,
he in preschool, he's learning how to use Word, how to use Excel. Like
right,
he needs it to do his homework and stuff. And he's
right.
4, and he's 4, right? So he still needs it.
Wow.
So he's doing all that, and then I like it because I can sync that into my work computer and everything. I could
Mhm.
just if I need to do something at home that I don't want to do in the office, or I need to come home, I can just open it up here and work on it.
Right.
And there's no need to like put it on the USB drive or an external drive. And, oh, I forgot to drive at home, or I forgot to drive at work. I don't have the
Yeah.
files. It's just right
Well,
there on the
I
cloud.
well, I do everything wireless. I don't use no wires to transfer anything either.
Mm.
It,
Yeah.
Cause they're on Android also they have something similar to AirDrop. It's called a share, where I can
Mm,
share stuff from device to device. Yeah,
mm.
sometimes it gives me a headache when I'm trying to transfer a video from an Android device to an iPhone device,
Yeah,
but I don't seem to really have that problem when I'm using a laptop.
yeah.
So if I use the laptop and I just drop it into iCloud, and then
Mm,
once I get it to iCloud, then I push it over to my phone or the iPad, you know what I'm saying? And then I delete it off the other one. Like I literally delete everything. And I just
mm,
leave everything in Google Photos. Because like I said, I get for $5 a month, I get 500 gigs, which that is plenty of space to
yeah.
save photos and videos. You know what I'm saying? And I also got the files. I can do Google Files and all that too, Google Docs and all that. I got all that with Google One.
So you don't have external drives for backups and anything like that?
No, uh-uh. I mean, I have a 2 terabyte one, but I don't ever use. I actually use my external hard drive. I use it for the PlayStation to
Yeah.
save to save all the games and stuff on there instead of saving it on the system. That way, the system is always fine. So I
Right.
actually formatted. I formatted anytime something happens on one of those, it automatically saves to the to. So I got half of it working on a PlayStation, one
The other
terabyte
half,
working on a PlayStation, and the other half on my laptop.
mm,
So then when it's stuff that I don't need no more for the laptop, then I just delete it off of there.
right.
So it works out a lot better.
Nice. Well, we've been at it for an hour and 130 minutes. Was that 2 hours and 10 minutes?
Yep. It don't seem like that long.
No, not at all. So,
So
go
what you
ahead, go
about to
ahead,
say?
go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is we talking about the how to get started on YouTube. So I said, let me tell you how I got started 3 years ago, which I already kind of said that already. Uh, I explained to you how decide on your niche and how to pick one. And the first way I found it was, which we said earlier, I said earlier, what you're passionate about. That will help you get started. The next way is I would try to help you is to get started is to explain in details to help you get started. So how to get your YouTube game on from zero to hero. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
the most popular ways we'll talk about the most popular YouTube niches based on profitability and a potential for getting total engagement and a potential for getting monetization as a YouTube content creator. And the first way is you figure out what your niche is going to be, what you're going to be passionate about. This is all you're going to talk about on this channel. Uh, so basically, it's what lights your fire,
Right.
what makes it hot.
What makes you
Uh,
you?
yeah, what makes it you? Is it whether it's gaming, tutorials? I said adult tricks. People don't really talk about people don't really talk about their animals, but
Yeah.
what's the most popular YouTube when YouTube first came out? What was the most popular YouTube niche that was there?
Isn't it like cats or something?
Cats.
Yeah.
So that's where Beluga came from. Beluga
Oh.
is one of the big YouTubers. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And all he does is chat. Everything is about chat. And he's just talking about the whole world and talking about every YouTuber that's on YouTube. And
Yeah.
his stuff be funny. So uh so after that, whatever it is, it can be the master of your content, magical creation. So channel basics. First you have to figure out a killer name for your YouTube channel.
Mhm.
What you want the channel name to be. And yeah, I started out as Noble Life. That's when I first started. Mine was Noble Life, and then it became Noble Hangout. And I was
Yeah,
like, you know what?
I started messing with you in Noble Hangout. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? This is just not me. So it took me about a year to finally figure out what the name was going to be. How would people recognize when they see a video or see my post or watch a video? How they going to remember who I am?
Mhm.
So I started venturing around YouTube and looking at other people's names on YouTube. And the first one came to me as, yeah, I'm a little older than the normal young guys. Why don't I just change it to Mr. Noble?
Mm.
So people know me as Mr. Noble, and I am Mr. Noble TV. And the reason why I put the TV part on it was I watched a YouTube video from YouTube gave me this idea to put TV on the end of my name. And the reason why I did that is because eventually we're going to be making more money from people watching it on TV than we'll actually be watching it on mobile devices. Because there's a lot of Apple Snob is one of my biggest subscribers. He's
Mm,
became one of my friends, just like you on X, on Twitter.
mm.
So whenever he watches my video, he watches all my videos on the TV. He don't why he don't want he wants to get the full effect
Right.
of everything that's going on in the video, and he don't want to miss anything. And that's how he took. Dude, I had one of my subscribers last week, about almost a week ago, came on. It's like, dude, you make the best videos. And I went to his channel. Yeah, he really don't have no subscribers. He's not. But the thing that got me is not, it's not that he's a small YouTube creator, but it was the idea of what he said. But I didn't really take it to heart. You know what I'm saying? Because people could say things like that because they see you growing. They're like, "Oh, I want to say something to get his attention," and then maybe
Mhm.
down the line he might throw something at me. He might get, send out some gifts or something. Because that's the way I think. Uh, they compared me. He compared me to Marquez and Mister Who's the Boss,
Mm.
and I was like, to get that kind of recognition, I must be, I must be really doing something special.
Right.
Hold on, I need to put one of my AirPods. My AirPods are dying. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if I can switch them. So I was like, that's shocking for somebody to say that to me. And I couldn't believe somebody said that.
You froze up.
Hello?
Yeah. You froze up on the visual side.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm trying to put in my other AirPods,
There you go.
my other headphones. I meant my other Bluetooth headphones.
Mhm.
I actually bought these other ones on Temu, and I just wanted to try them out.
Mhm.
Got so much bass in them, bro, and I only paid $7 for them. Look.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let me get this thing to open.
Oh wow.
And it's got two different chargers, and then when you put it on a charger with the headphones in it,
Mhm.
they have a digital display on the front of it. Tells you how much percentage that the earphones are and how much the charge is.
Mm.
So, like I said, on the page 7, and they sound better than the AirPods. I like why something this cheap sounds better and it also has transparency mode.
Oh, it does it.
Yeah, for $7 on Temu.
That's a
Man, they
bargain.
got so much bass in them, bro. They sounded like beats.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So back to what I was saying. So you come up with a name, and then you come up with your band. I know a lot of people have a problem with trying to create their banner for YouTube
Yeah.
because of the banner sizes, because you got to go from mobile to iPad size to laptop size to TV
Desktop and all
size.
that. Yeah.
So everything's gotta flow together.
Mhm.
So and me creating doing a banner on Canva, which I put a little bit of stuff around it, but I get it like right in the center. But I like the way that the new YouTube update is they have that kind of rounded corners now, and they
Yeah.
kind of center it right in the middle. So it makes it a
Mhm.
little bit easier. But they don't let you add it from YouTube no more. You actually got to go into YouTube Studio and add
Ah,
your
yeah.
banner or your logo. They don't
Mhm.
let you actually do it in the YouTube app anymore. I don't know why they stopped that. I don't like that.
Mhm.
Uh, and the next thing you want to do is write your bio that makes your viewers want to scream subscribe.
Mhm.
So, like a lot of YouTubers say, you know, those first 30 seconds to 45 seconds is the most critical.
Yep.
So, how so somebody asked me recently, how do you get your videos to stand out and get people to watch longer? There's a main ingredient in your video that you take out. You leave it there, but you also take it out and you edit it as a different video, and then you're gonna add it back later, and that becomes your hook. You know what I'm saying? So something that somebody would be interested in the middle of your video, towards the end of your video, to grab their attention. You know what I'm saying?
Rather than put
You
it to the
take that
front.
and you put it into the front. Yeah, you might not really say much in it, but you want to speed it up a little bit. So you speed it up a little bit, and then that's after that it starts off the video, and from that point that they're hooked. And I
Yeah.
noticed that since I started doing that, a lot of my videos are getting more attraction. So we look at the tech niche as okay, well we're gonna look at this niche one way, and that one way is oh I'm gonna do everything on Apple on iOS. I'm only
Mhm.
gonna do iOS stuff. And then another person is going to say, well, I'm only going to do everything on Android. I'm just going to do all Android stuff. Now, think about what are the persons that they want to do Wi-Fi? Like me, I have T-Mobile, but I have all the T-Mobile products. So am I going to stop myself from just doing Apple and not do T-Mobile? No,
I think you
actually,
started off at T-Mobile, right?
I started off with T-Mobile
Right.
because I wasn't really into really talking about the Apple stuff way back then, 3 years ago. So what I'm supposed to do, just get rid of the Timo? Because I have to say that my whatever you start out with your on your channel is what's gonna get the most attraction when you first start out. You know what I'm saying? So you
Mhm.
stick to doing a lot of that. But see what I had a tendency to do, which I don't just have one viewer now, but I have three viewers instead of one viewer. All the other channels only have one viewer. Yeah, they have multiple subscribers. So, say for instance, all right, so I'll take Marquez because a lot of people like to talk about Marquez. All right, say he has 10 million subscribers, and I have 1 million subscribers. Now, he has 1 million subscribers watching the same content. I have three different content. I have iPhone, I have T-Mobile, and I have Android now because I started doing Android with the Fold. You know what I'm saying? So now I
Mhm.
got three. I got I'm I'm catering to three different audiences with one channel. And you think about it, oh, but they said, oh, but your niche is only supposed to be dedicated to one thing, and that's how you're growing YouTube. That ain't true. What I did, every single one of my videos now, no matter whether it's a iPhone or iOS video, whether it's a T-Mobile video, or whether it's an Android video, All three of them are getting attraction now because I'm catering to three different people, and people is like, no, that's wrong. A lot of people, YouTubers say, no, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're gonna ruin your channel. You're not looking at the big picture. You looking at it. You looking at it from one standpoint. What does all those things mean? All those things that I just described. What does all three of those things? What do all three of those things have in common?
Tech.
Tech. It's a technique.
Right.
Why has it got to be specific?
Right.
Now look at Mr. Who's the Boss or Marquez when they do that yearly review in December. What do? They sit there and they talk about every tech product they could possibly name at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't do it throughout the year.
No, they do it once.
But do you notice those videos at the end of the year has more views and subscribers? They get more views and subscribers from those and from businesses than any other YouTube video that they have created.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the Marquez, what is it, phone of the year
Yeah,
videos.
phone of the year, Mr. Who's the Boss, phone of the year, uh,
Yeah.
with Super Saf, a lot of them, they all do that.
Yep.
But I don't want to compare myself to nobody else on YouTube, but the one person that I look, yeah, I like Marquez a lot. He's like my number one YouTuber besides Mr. Who's the Boss. And it was funny that I got compared to them two last week. It made me laugh more than actually taking what the person said, to heart. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I like these two so much, and that he happened to read my mind and say that on a comment. But the person I look to that started me really, really, really getting into it because he talks about multiple different things the way I do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Linus. Linus
Linus
Tech Talk.
tips. Yeah.
Linus Tips, yeah. So he talks about all those different things.
Right.
Like I said, it's a general tech uh, channel.
See,
Sure.
you know who got me into this?
Well,
In my personal life, I'm a funny guy. I like to joke. I like to play around. I
me
like to
too.
joke a lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I just love tech, but I thought everybody in the tech community was so just nerdy and nobody
Right,
wanted to goof around until I saw Front Page Tech.
right.
I saw Front Page
And
Tech and I was like, "Oh, this guy is smart. He knows what he's talking about, but he makes some funny ass jokes." And he's got
right,
there's an audience for this.
right.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm diving in.
Yeah, the taller squad. He made that backdrop on his green screen. Dude,
Yeah.
that is he's like the only one that you know of, and I actually grabbed that last year from him. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this, and I tried remember I tried the that's where I got the TV thing from. I wanted to try to do the broadcast news like he
Yeah,
does.
right.
I got that idea to do that, and I started, but it didn't go anywhere. It didn't. It. I guess I wasn't funny enough, and I was just now getting into my realm of knowing how to do things. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And now he's got people writing his scripts for him, but at the
Right.
same time, he's also putting his spin on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he reads from an iPad Mini. He reads everything from his iPad Mini, but you would never really pay attention to him reading it because he does it so well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That's a
you
lot
don't
of
have it.
rehearsing.
yeah, and having to remember, you know, which as you get older, you have a tendency to have hard trouble trying to remember things, and
and
you can't
and and
remember
he
like the young ones do.
and he be taking them vitamins.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's funny, bro.
So
So,
I gotta wrap this up.
okay,
I got I
sounds
got I
good.
got I got I got a little few things to do before I go to bed. But it was fun. It was definitely fun.
Yeah, yeah, definitely
Um,
do this again.
yeah, we definitely gotta do this again. We gotta talk to Tech for your needs.
Please,
Definitely gonna hit him up.
yeah,
See if we can do some streams with him. Do some lives.
right.
Um, yeah, man, and it was fun. It was definitely something.
And, you know, if it works out good, we could start our own podcast.
Oh, definitely, that'd be fun.
Now, since we know we could just use this without all that extra equipment,
Yeah,
this actually sounds great, bro.
yeah, it does.
And it's not hard.
I want to know like what the audience thinks. Like, did they hear us
Exactly.
good? Is our video good? You know what I mean? Things they want us to discuss, things they have questions
Right.
about. Like you said, we can help them out on
Help
different
'em out with
topics.
anything. Yeah. I mean, we could
More than
still get
welcome.
into the iOS and how you start a YouTube channel and uh what it took us, what
Yeah.
we've learned. Like I said, I know a lot of stuff, bro. I have a brilliant mind. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that I could sit here and talk to you for days, and I'll never get tired of talking. My wife and my kids tell me all the time, man, you talk more than everybody else put together. She told me to shut up too. She over there telling me shut up right now. But
All
I
right,
could sit
man.
here and talk all day, dude. It was nice talking to you, bro. I
It was
holla at you
nice
on
talking
X.
to you, man. All right, man.
We'll talk about the next time we're gonna set up another one.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. Later.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.